Good morning. Good morning. What we finna do is y'all looking at the two babies, the two additions that we got to our family over here. Cause we growing over here with Life with Tashana and the home of the high class gardens. but over here we're about growing in real life and growing in the garden. And we clearly have us some growth, but today we gonna set up life on the outside of the babies being in this incubator and move them to they next destination for now. And so we went to get some things that we need to set them up with. And I'm going to show you some of those things that we got to help set them up for the great transfer. um and I see one thing that I done forgot already. So let me go grab that. And hey, one man's trash. How you doing today? So I gotta grab one of the important things that I need, or quite possibly I can get somebody to bring it to me real quick. But I'm missing an important part of um this situation, so I'm gonna show y'all what I went and picked up. And again, I'm not no professional over here doing this here, but I do what I do, and what I've been doing has been working for me. So far we got us we went by the Dollar General, and we got a box, because remember we be trying to save our coins over here. So um we went and got a cardboard box from on the side of the Dollar General, and I just took and I taped the flaps down on the side to make the sides of my box a little bit more sturdier. And when I put this piece of string on here, I had another design in mind. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little behind in everything else that I'm supposed to be doing, but nonetheless I'm getting it done. But you know, all the time we don't get everything done we want in one day. We'll be super people for real if we was able to do that. But I'm good, and that's good to know you all right. Okay, so this is our box. This piece of string, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, because I'm gonna have to repurpose that. But we got this this chick starter right here is what I usually use. And it's the only time that I use their product for raising, you know, giving this kind of food to, because my older chickens, they eat sunflower seeds, corn, rolled oats, mealworms, and I think I named everything. And I dust their food with diatomaceous earth. Okay, so we got this right here, and they'll eat this. They'll eat this for. Mm, I think I feed this to them for about 6 weeks. I don't know. It could be longer than that. But just like I say in the garden with your plants and stuff like that, the same way you know when it's time to transfer them from one food to the next, you know, they speak to you. You gonna know. Or it's yard time. I know that's right. It's yard time, and I'm so excited. And I be overwhelming myself trying to do all of the stuff that I dream of in my head. But the only thing is all the stuff I done dreamed of in my head, it's coming to fruition all at the same time. And then I done added some other stuff to the project. So it's like I'm all over the place. So when I tell you I got 500 things going on at one time, I really do. Hey, share with Shay. We about to move your your chick that that's named after you over here into its new home. So that's what we setting up for. Okay, so this is the feed, and then this is the wood, the pine chips that we gonna put in the bottom for them to move around. And sometimes they act like this be food right here, but but that's what we finna do. We finna get them set up for the day, and then I'm gonna show you all what's happening with the grow lights. Are they working for me? Well, I don't know. Let's check them out. But I'm gonna put y'all eyes on Lil Shay, and then we got another one in there that we don't know what his name is. But Lil Shay is the big one. So there you are. There's the babies for today. And that, they are actually mean already. I think, in my opinion, if you watch them, watch how they trying to poke each other. They pecking at each other's eyes or something. They always do that, which then make me. That first thing I want to do is like separate them and stuff when I see them doing that. But y'all too, I also went and this is one other thing that I got. Let me flip it around. Let's see. Okay, this was not the feeder that I was planning on getting. I have another kind of feeder. I actually like the one that hangs, so like I can move it up and down as they in there, because I don't like for them to step in their food and all of that kind of stuff. But we gonna work with this one right here. We went with what they had in the store, because the little small ones that I have for the babies, I just moved other ones to a different place, and so I left them with that feeding tray. So now we going with something different. Good morning, Miss Coffee. Not in the chat and in the service at the same time. You better do it. The multitask. I hear. Say one for me, Miss Coffee. um. So, but okay, and let me show y'all this a water bottle that I use for them. And then hopefully I keep on talking like all the way through it, because I have to remember as I go along. This is my third time incubating incubating my own chickens. So um hopefully I'll talk through the process as I get everything done. But we got our handy dandy watering bottle. So now what we gonna do? Um is I'm gonna put some of the wood chips in the bottom of the box, and I'm gonna show y'all how much I'm gonna put in there, and I'm gonna keep talking through But and turn around and show you all, because I know the chickens is a lot more cuter to look at than it is to look at me just dumping wood chips into a box, so I can show y'all, how much I'm putting in or whatever, what, how they need different little things. But yeah, so we got a little Shay, and then and Shay is the big dog inside right now. um she's the bigger one. And we don't have a name for the other one yet, but we got two babies so far, and then we seeing on the inside we got a couple of eggs that is starting to crack and got some spots on them. So we gonna add to the family uh again shortly. Okay, so my wood chips already got a hole in it, in a place that I wouldn't usually put a hole at. But we gonna work with that too. We gonna go with the flow today. That's why I'm sitting here. I'm about to have a good day in every single way. You know, since I'm Monday, it's always a good day. It's a good day. What y'all did for today? What the weather looking like where y'all at today? It feels here in Florida. It is. I wouldn't say it's hot. I know nothing. It's very nice out. Right about now. So I would say the weather is beautiful right about now. Give it a couple hours, we might be screaming over here. I don't know. I don't know what we gonna get, because I ain't looked at no news or nothing to know. But I hope y'all weather is great. I actually love cool weather, but if you want to grow stuff, you mostly grow in the hot. So I love when the summertime, when it start getting spring and stuff too. Okay, so right now we got two baby chicks. Hey, Miss Monet Stewart, how you doing today? Okay, so I put wood chips just in the bottom of it because we only got two. We only got two right now. But even when we have more in here, I don't put a whole lot of this in there. I just want it to cover the bottom of it to catch, them using the bathroom and everything, because I don't leave these wood chips in here for long periods of time. They at the most, according to how many baby chicks I put into this box. I can change it every other day. I can change it once a week. It's according to how many baby chicks that I have running around in this right here. And then once they get to a certain age, I got another cage that I have that we move them from, we put them in on the out in on the outdoors during the daytime, and then we bring them in at nighttime. Until then, it's just like weaning them from the inside to the outside. So I don't know how I'm gonna switch that up, but I'll be switching it up with what I'm doing. I just have to see what works for me, because one year we did it while it was still cold outside, so we kept the baby chicks in the house the whole entire time. But then they start making all of that noise and stuff, you know. So you'll switch it up, according to how it work for you, as long as they be making it. But sunshine and about 65. That's pretty good. That's some pretty good temperatures right there. That ain't bad. I was waiting for you to go live all morning. Now I can finally have my coffee. All right, Shell with Shell. Okay, go ahead and have your coffee, girl. Go ahead and have your coffee. But look at them run. They is running all over. I think they can hear the other chickens inside they shells getting ready to come out. So I think they be encouraging them. At least that's what I want to think they be doing anyways. But what do I know about this? I just started doing all of this extra stuff. So okay. Now I don't put the wood chips in the bottom of the box. Now, what I'm gonna show y'all is I'm gonna pick the baby chick. No, I ain't. I'm gonna put this water bottle on here first, because the first thing that I want them to do when I put them in the box, I want to show them where their water source is. That's one of the first things you have to introduce them to, is where you gonna go and find your water from. And the only thing that take is for you to have that situation in place, and then when you transfer them into that place, the first thing you do is take them to that water bottle so that they can start pecking on it. And once they learn it's there, you gonna hear tapping all day and all night, because it's like they never get enough of it. So I'm gonna set up the water bottle. And usually with this water bottle, I've had um 20 chickens in at one time, and this one water bottle right here. What I would usually do is I would fill it up every morning, one time every day. And by the time, once they start drinking like this whole bottle down, it's like it's time for them to go to the next stage then. So you put a different watering system in. I try to do whatever it takes for them not to use the bathroom in their water. It's gonna be 72 in N. Wow, oh, that's good. Them good temperatures too. Good, good, good. Sound like everybody having them some good weather. That always is a plus. Um, Now I want to decide. I always be switching up everything. So it's like I feel like I kind of want to put the water bottle on the outside and then poke a hole in the box. I'm always coming up with something different that I want to do. Child, my neighbor riding through on his golf cart, playing his jam. Get it, boy. I know that's right. It's a nice day to be doing it. And I think the reason why I don't want to poke no hole in the side of the box is because you have to move the water bottle every now and then to situate it to they height, the height of the chickens. Well, at least I do anyway. So um, and they can stretch their necks pretty far. And I'm doing it my way, any dang on way. So I be using tape on everything. I use that on everything. Yeah, so I hang my water bottle with tape, because that other little thing does not do for me what I want it to do. So I be coming up with my own solutions. Do what work for you. And I'm gonna show y'all my little setup in just 1 second. But let me get it situated now. Then as soon as I get that water bottle in place, we gonna pick them up out of there and move them into their box. Okay, let me show y'all how I did my in my neck of the woods they call it Negro rigging. But that's how I put mine up there. I just ran a piece of tape from right in the middle, right over the side of the edge, and then to hold it to the wall, I just put a piece of tape running right across the hold my bottle in place. And now I'm gonna turn the camera. I'm gonna take y'all in the box with me so y'all can see every little step that I'm doing. Hey, Lucas 5464, California in the house. I know. All right, California. How y'all doing over there? What's the weather like over there? Okay, we gonna remove our top. Let me get this situated, y'all, cause y'all know I ain't no good camera person, but I be trying to take y'all wherever it is that I'm going. We be going and growing together. So I be trying to take y'all places with me. But okay, let's see. We gonna open up this top cause I'm going to disconnect. No, I ain't gonna disconnect nothing because I ain't gonna have the top off that long. I just don't want it to slam down on anything. And I'm gonna give y'all a look on the inside where they got their little egg pieces and stuff everywhere. They done pooped on top of their little brother and sisters or whatever it is. The weather is sunny. Are you well? I am absolutely doing well. It's called jittery. Jerry here. Not sure why. I don't know either, but whatever it is, I call it making it do whatever it gotta do. So okay, y'all hear our alarm going off, so that means our numbers getting low enough. So we gonna grab Shay out the box first, cause Shay came first, so she got to stay the big dog. So I gotta get Shay out of here first. Y'all, this little Shay that's already pecking at my hand already. So y'all see this here is little Shay. And she going in the box first. She get to make the rules, set the rules in the house. Okay. She get to set the rules in the house. Then I'll take her over here and introduce her to the watering. And I'm trying to do this one-handed, you all, so let's see if she got a taste of the water, because we'll want her to run back over there to that. Let me click this noise off. Okay, let's see. The alarm is when I open the top on the incubator, it go off because it lets you know like the temperatures, if the temperatures are off. So once the temperatures are not at the right levels or whatever, it sets off an alarm to let you know you need to come and check on us over here. So that's what that alarm is. Let me make sure she got to water, because that's the most important thing. Where she learn how to use the bathroom in here really quick. And see, just want to make sure you. So now she knows that there is water in here, and she can go to it. And they think for whatever reason these wood chips are something for them to eat, so they try it all the time. So I'm going to get the other little one that we don't have a name to it, but they clearly calling for each other because they've been in this box together for a minute and they all let each other know. So we gonna get the other baby and put her in there too. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Come on. Let me close this up. And we got our other little baby. We're gonna introduce her to the water. Yep, she knows this water there. Let me spin it this way so you all can be able to see. And she'll go over. Let's see if we shed any more light on them. I don't know if that's gonna help any. Try not to let it be so dark. Okay, they can be seen. Um, so now I'm going to fill up a food container. What we gonna feed them in? And this is what the feed look like inside the bag. It's just like little crumbles of like ground up corn and all of that kind of stuff. And then you just take it like this right here. And I filled it up with food already. Has the food in it and everything. And when I turn it upside down, the food will go inside of the tray. And it will be eating time for the baby chickens. And I don't really like to sit it on the ground like this. So I was looking for one that has a actual hanger on it, because that's why I put this string across here to hold the food up, so that you don't have them walking inside of the food, because they poop everywhere they go, and I just don't like that part of it right there. So I kind of like don't put their food down low enough for them to be able to walk into it, but just to be able to put their head in it and get it. And you see they choosing the wood chips over the food for right now at this moment. Let's see, let me show them to food. It's food over here. You see, they love mocking, copying off for everything somebody do. Now I'll go over there and tap into the crumbles. They want to go and tap into the crumbles too, just like what I'm doing. Watch them. They want to do what I'm doing. Yeah, that's food over there. Yeah, copycat. She getting it all. She getting it all. Y'all help me. Well, I just showed them where their food was at. So they good. They have their food and water. The only thing I do is I keep looking to check and see um, that they have food and water at all times, and that they don't get too much of waste inside of this box. This is another thing too, that when these baby chickens use the bathroom on top of this right here, I do not throw this away. Because remember, I told y'all one of my favorite things fertilize fertilize with and everything is chicken poop. So I don't throw away any of this stuff that I'm using because it helps in the garden. Can they reach the water? It looks high. Let me show you actually where it is. And when the chickens drink, when they drink the water, let me see. Y'all know I ain't good with the camera thing yet, but we getting there. We learning. Okay, so when they come to the water to drink, they don't usually. I want them to stretch their neck out so they can get up to it. So they're gonna come up to it and then they'll stretch their necks out and then they'll peck on it. Um, as they see fit. But and two, right now, because I don't know, I haven't seen them go for the water themselves. But I will find that out before they're left alone. I will know whether they can or cannot reach the water. I think it's too high for them. Um, these chickens have the ability to stretch their neck almost about the same length as their body is already. So you know, it may look a little high, but I think they'll be able to reach it. Can you put it in a on a plate turned upside down? Um yes. And what I actually did was I put a the last time it's so funny that you said a plate. Um the last time I had took one of my ceramic bowls and I put it inside of a bag, a Ziploc bag. Golly, I don't know why I couldn't spit it out, but I put it inside of a Ziploc bag to make like make it taller for me, and then I set that bowl on top of this feeding thing on top of that bowl to make it higher. So as as I start to see them like they trying to step inside of it or whatever, like that, then I'll start to switch it up. But again, this wasn't the one that I was planning to go with, right? But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And all of the ones that I have are already being used. So the more they grow, the bigger situation I put in here, because they got a big one, but I use the bigger one for when it's like 20, 30, 40 of them, so they all will be able to get to them. Even sometimes you have to put more than one feeding tray in here because I don't want them fighting over each other trying to get the food or whatever. So um you are doing a wonderful job with your garden. Proud of you, sis. Thank you, share with Shay. I'll be trying, and I'll be wanting the people to come along because this gardening is good for the soul. I believe. I can't tell you how it's going to work for you, but for me, Like it has changed so many things. I mean, it's such a peaceful place. I mean, I can talk y'all and talk y'all and talk y'all and tell y'all about it. But the only one thing I know most of us have experience is going to school and you plant that lima bean. And I always go to that one lima bean, and every time I think about it, I think about one of my children. And y'all know, I I've raised 14 children. 14. So imagine how many times I done seen that llama bean come running up the road, shaking up and down with it running. All I can think about is on that day how proud you is that you grew that one llama bean. It's kind of like that when when you start to do your own thing, and with each step that you take, and the more you learn, it's you get that same effect every time. You proud of everything that you do, going forward. Good morning, Shalissa. Good to see you, girl. um that answered your question. Why? I don't even know. I didn't even know that. I didn't see a question up there from you, Lucas, from before. But I'm glad that I tell everybody when I start doing that babbling on, I start answering people's questions that they haven't even got the question out yet. How I'm able to do that, I don't even know. But that's just something that I've been known to do, and I be talking on and on. But to me, when I be saying stuff, sometimes I be like, there I go babbling on again, just running my mouth, but I always end up saying something somebody needed me to say or something. So I'm cool with it. Um, can you tap the water dish so they can see it? Well, that's what when you first put them in here, that's the first thing that you're supposed to introduce them to is the water. And once they know that that's a water source, they'll keep going back to that water source over and over again. It's always the first thing. That's the way I've did it ever since I started doing it, and I haven't changed it since. And I've never had an issue with them going back to the water bottle. So that's the first. Before I introduced food or anything to them, the first thing I took them to was their water source. So we'll see it, and if I think that I need to reintroduce them to it again, then then I'll do it. But it usually okay, Lucas, what you might be asking me is, can I tap on it to see if they'll go to it like they did the food? And you see, I'm tapping on it, and they over here looking. And you all, these chickens right here have the potential to grow almost 3 feet tall. So it's according to what they mix with, but we got a couple of chickens that are really, really tall. They are definitely curious about what I'm doing. Everything I do, they want to do it. Nothing much. I'm on live. I'm on live. What you need? Oh yeah, we went and got some last night. What's up, little man? What you doing? What you doing? You ain't talking this day? I guess. All right. Um. Yeah. So we tapped on the water source, and let's see. We can let me try and introduce them back to it again, just to see if they'll hit on the water one more time. Cause we do want to make sure that they get to the water. And let's come from this angle so you all can see. So we know for sure this one getting water from that source. Let's see, will he go back to it and try again? They just ain't thirsty. They not thirsty right now. So I don't think they interested. Not just yet. They continuously poke at each other's eye. Let me grab little one because that was shade that I put up to the water source, and they definitely can reach it because their feet are touching the ground while I'm introducing them to it. Yeah, she's drinking the water, so they definitely know it's there. And there you have it. So okay, we got them squared away. They know that they got they source deal. So she did tap it and show both as she put them in. Yeah, they did. Um yeah, raised 14 of them. And you if you go back one man's trash, if you go back because there is a lot to me. Um I've been through a lot in my life, and that's what I actually came on here for. I didn't know that I would end up in the garden, but I am on here telling about my life experience, my life story. I've tried to write a book a couple of times. It's never worked out for me. And then I just felt like at one point in my life I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't tell them anything. So I was holding stuff on the inside. And then it became this one point in my life where I felt like if I didn't talk, that I was going to die. And so I can't, and it was like every night that I was just laying in the bed and just thinking about um, all of the things that I had been through in my life. And I never was able to speak about it because, like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, your whole entire life you can't talk, you can't say nothing to nobody, and you just there in the corner and you just existing. So as I got tired of being the shut up person, just one day, and not just out of one day I hit the live and I introduced myself and I said, I be all over the place because I really do be all over the place. I mean, it's just that this season in my life, I just happen to be in the garden because the garden is showing me growth in so many different areas in my life that I'm applying it to. So, um, but I've been through so many things, but a way to like, no, no, you'll learn the stories about how I got those kids. Some of the things I done been through with some of those kids. And as things bother me or whatever, and I feel like they can help people through situations that they're going and growing through, I don't mind coming to talk about them, especially if it can help somebody to grow through their situation instead of just going through it, grow through their situation and talk about it. So yes, 14 of them. um okay, I didn't see did I miss butter pecan. I must. Oh, I'm reading that comment, but I ain't look at who sent it. Hey, Korean girl. I'm like, who in the heck is Butterbean? I was like, I'm going back in the chat looking for Butterbean. I was like, I missed somebody. No, okay then. Hey, Korean. Yeah, she got a different name every day. Um, yes, but this is why I am attracted to you and your channel. Same thing happened to me. Wow, see, you just don't know. One man, is you the one told me that am I to call you Pam, Miss Pam? I think I'm right, but I ain't scared to be wrong now. um, and there's been a whole lot of things, and all of those things that I've thought, just to even read that, that happened to you. At first, that's exactly where you started. It's okay then. Well, I see that girl memory is still good. Yes, Miss Pam. Okay, then I got it right. I'm like thinking to myself, wait a minute, this Miss Pam I'm talking to, right? Um, through a lot of it, there is a point that you come to and you like, all of this stuff happened to me. But then there's also this point where you're like, no, it didn't just happen to me. Everything was a blessing to me. I As I was going through it, I just thought of it. It was everything was happening to me. Nope. I'm learning that each one of those happenings, there was a blessing in every single one of them. And you know, but sometimes life just be life be life, and you don't really recognize it for the things that it is sometimes to a whole lot later in life that it was happening. And when I tell you, things were happening to me because I was just one thing that I can go over briefly is telling you all the way I got two of my kids was, I sent for them. They had previously lived with me before, so I moved from out of that place. But when I moved from there, I missed them. Hey, can I get the girls for 2 weeks for the summer? Sure, you can get them. They mom bought them to me, and she never came back and got them. She didn't ask me. Did I want to take them? No, anything. She just didn't come back to get them. And when she didn't show back up, I was fine with she didn't come back to get them. I didn't like the way that she did it, but I was fine. I was fine with that. The girls were no problem at all. But then I was in a kind of a new relationship, and I didn't understand how am I about to I came already. I have three boys already. I'm in a relationship with this guy, and now I'm going to ask him, and we just moved to a new place out of the comfort zone of where I came from. And now I'm about to ask him after them visiting to take on two more kids. But we also have another kid. So at this time, we talking about six children. Hello. Yes. Thank you. You do the same. Um, I mean, I can go on and on all day, but I'm gonna tell this part of the story, and then I'm gonna move away from this and back into the chat again, because of course I can't read y'all comments and finish telling the story, because then it'll make me talk about another part of the story. But now I'm about to ask my then he's my husband now, but we were together, and we had just moved in together or whatever. But now we got two kids that has been dropped off to us to spend some time with us, and now they're not coming back to get them. So as we working with the mom, trying to get her, to make some kind of sense of what's happening, give us some answers or whatever, she doesn't answer. But that my husband is the one that comes around the corner as I'm trying to figure everything out in my mind, because all before in my life, everything I got to try and figure it out by myself as a single parent, because that's who I was raised by, a single parent. So I know how to be a single parent and do everything on my own. So as I'm trying to go through this process and figure everything out on my own, um I'm trying to figure everything out on my own. My husband, which was not my husband at the time, came around the corner and he said, you know what? Because he's listening to me network on the phone, and we trying to communicate with somebody who lives 2 hours away from us. So he's listening to me go through all these different channels, and he just finally said, he said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. He is like, just let him stay here or whatever, because he knew what it was like when we were there before. But long story short, the answer I was searching for, I didn't have to end up asking him. He just came through and said, let's just keep him. But then who would have known 6 months later down the line, my mom would pass away, and then I would, you know, gain her three. So life was really, really happening. So, um, when you talk about your life, girl, you make my heart ache and break. Sis, sending you so many air hugs from NY. Relate a million. Um, and I really don't talk about them that much because I don't know if people, and it's not about what people want to hear about. I actually come on here and talk about whatever it is that be on my mind or whatever I feel like I want to say on that day or whatever. But no one ever ask me any of those questions, because that's a conversation that I don't ever run from. I ran from 46 years of my life. I ain't got, I don't got no more time. Probably just a little bit less than the 46 years, but I ran away from it far too long. And it's like now, it's like I know I have so much information, and I know it didn't just happen to me. It's still happening to other people. And sometimes they need to know how I'm going to get through this thing. Where is the silver lining in this situation that I went through? And so I'm down to talk about it all the time and scream it from the top of the mountains. um, and I, okay, Pam, this is what I'm talking about right here. Is it ain't about, at first you start to think about it, it's like, oh, I got them. Whatever it is that they mom can't come through and do it, I got them. But then there comes a point that you realize, yes, you can have them physically, emotionally, but mentally, you can never feel that part that walked away. And not only did one parent walk away, both parents walked away, and not just one time. And then you have the parents bickering back and forth between each other, which both of them trying to tell the other one which one was worse than the other one, and they both looking real similar to one another. Um, and one of them is my auntie, and the other one is somebody who we was raised up around forever and a day. But I'm about the truth. I would say to the both of them, no, you both were two equally shitty parents. And that's not a dig. That's just the truth. And sometimes people don't want to hear that. But if it's your truth, the sooner you go ahead and accept it, if and I have to say it that way because especially when you got two people who equally didn't show up or didn't do what they were supposed to do, it's like, and they both down in each other for the way the other one did things and the way the other did things. No, you equally are basically the same. So both basically just saying both of y'all shut up. um you know but I mean, there's so many things that I can talk about, but Miss Pam, my heart is, I can talk about these things and sometimes they'll bring up tears and stuff about things that happen or whatever throughout my lifetime. But right now, the season that I'm walking in, I'm no longer that hurt person. Yeah, was I in these situations? I absolutely am. And because I've came to a place on the inside of a place of peace on the inside of me. It's just I haven't come out and like talked about it to a whole lot of people. Do I talk about it? Will I talk about it? Absolutely, to any and everybody. It's just that when you've never told a story before, or you've never like talked through it and like go through all them different emotions and everything, and once you like putting them out or whatever, they can come out with tears, all kinds of different emotions, at that time. And that's what happens to me. So on here, I have a lot of videos that probably a lot of y'all haven't seen, because usually people don't go back into like when you first came on YouTube. What's your story? They just get into what I'm talking about right now in the here, in present. And and if you go back, you'll find there's so many different things about me. I can be one real quiet person, and then when I get rowdy, I can have the worst potty mouth you ever heard of in your life. And then I can be the sweetest candy bar you ever ran into in your life. So there's many sides to me, and I don't try to hide any of them. I'm just a person that's here on this earth trying to heal and work through life, just like anybody else. And I think we've all been through some things, and sometimes people need to hear that they not out there on the limb all by themselves, trying to work through this thing called life, because life be life. But if you want to know about who I am and some of the things that I've been through, my old shorts, my old videos, especially my old videos, you can know about different situations that I done been through with my mom, dealing with a married man, having 3 kids from him, some of the hell that I went through with them, dealing with them after my mom passed, everything, all types of situations, some traumatic things, you know. Um, and I'm actually in a very peaceful place at this time in my life. So, um, don't let your heart break for the things that I went through. Rejoice with me. We in a new place. We growing. We growing over here. So, let me I imagine that hurt those girls. Yep. And that's what it became about, is like, how are the kids going to get through that? That's one of the things that I go through all the time, thinking about what it does to kids for them not to have their parents in their life. I've seen it too many times. Too many times. um, I was up all night 2 nights ago watching your videos from 7 months ago. Couldn't stop crying. I appreciate that so much. Share with Shay, and I don't shy away from any of those conversations. I talk about any of those things. In fact, I put them up there so that and you can see up under those videos there are thousands of comments. I can't answer to them all, and when I do go back, because still I go back and read those comments from up under those things from time to time, but I have to do it in moderation, because those things bring back things that I've since blocked out of my mind and haven't thought. But when you start digging into this realm, you start digging up things that you had forgotten about. And I think those places are dug up because you still need healing in those areas. So they come up so you can spit them out. And so that's what I come on here and do. And I use it to spit it out and to help empower somebody else who haven't gotten to that place of, you know, speaking for themselves. So every from time to time I go back over there and I answer to some of those questions. I still put hearts on people's comments and stuff over there. But there's a lot of who Tashana is over there back in the days. um and couldn't be easy for you and your fellow. No, and it and I can't even say, Miss Pam, that it was actually hard for us. Going back and looking at it, it was like, it's just like so many things aligned so well for us. It was like it was our purpose. And it was like, because there was a point in my life when I kept having kids, and I was like, oh my God, I got so many kids. It's like, I when I'm looking back at it right now, it's like I was taught, like, to be embarrassed, I guess, in some kind of way. I don't know. That's the way I look back at it now. It's like I was made to feel ashamed that I had the kids that I had or whatever. Um, but it wasn't a shame for me to be the one that everybody came and, dropped their kids off to, because this happened before even I became an adult and somebody dropped their kids off to live with me forever. But it was happening during my teen years. It was pushed on me, and yes, I absolutely believe in kids helping their parents out in the household, but being your permanent live-in babysitter instead of a kid being a kid, no, baby. If you having those kids, you raise your own kids. Don't be leaving your kids with your other kids all the time. There's not one of my kids that can tell you that they was required to keep any of my children at any given time. My kids wasn't no babysitter for none of my other kids. Anytime my other kids had any of my other babies, it was only because, oh, can I take the baby over here to the park on a walk or any of that? I didn't do it to my kids because I didn't like that it was done to me. And so me being out in the garden right about now is like me reliving, getting to relive my childhood, because I've been raising kids ever since I was 11 years old. So, I'm living it up, trying to live it up, real good right now. But, those kids need their parents. You can foster them and everything, but there's always that longing that I believe on the inside of them. Um, that they want the person who they came from. Families don't like you talking about some of it. Yeah, and Miss Pam, Miss Pam, you are. I know you. I know you done had the experience some of it, because you can see some of my videos where I even talk about. I did the work, and then everybody trying to tell me how to do this and how to do that and what I can't say. And I'm just tired of everybody telling me that I need to shut up. No, if you don't like what my truth is, then maybe you shouldn't have did it, or maybe you should do something to do a little bit different so I can have a different story to tell about you. And do I still love the people who I tell these stories about when I talk about them? I absolutely do. Don't mean that I want nobody to join in with me and bash me or no nothing, but I'm tired of being told to shut up so I can tell my stories free, and I can still, some of my family members may feel like that I don't love them because I'm telling these stories. No, mm, I love you. Absolutely I do, because if I didn't love you, there's several things that I could have done to several of them at this point in my life, and that's not what I'm about. But what I am about is I'm going to tell my truth if I want to tell it. So, um though that's one of the things that is the least of my worries now, but because I do have consideration for them, I don't tell the stories like in a malicious way or anything, and I don't try to like knock them upside of the head with the stories that I tell, and I don't tell their names or any of that stuff. And the only way you jump out there and raise your hand asking, is you talking about me or whatever, it had to hit you in some kind of way. It had to kind of resemble you or something, but I don't worry about those things. I try not to tell anything like in anger. The only thing y'all see me angry about on here is dealing with my son girlfriend. And I was absolutely angry on that day. And she is not somebody who like I previously known for a long period of time. So it's like I can like you, love you, or hate you. Which you get to choose which one of them it gonna be. So and I don't even hate her. I don't like her at the time. I don't like disrespectful kids. And if I got kids the same age you is, you a kid to me. To me. You ain't gonna never tell one of your kids you not my kid. or whatever like that right there. But anybody who coming along that's the same age of one of my children, honey, you are children to me. And if you disrespectful like that, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I don't need you. I can't do it. I don't like disrespect in no ways. I'm not a disrespectful person, so I don't want nobody coming around me disrespectful. And this well spoken or not well spoken, or however you want to say it, can go from talking like this to being the hoodest of the hood, because they say you can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. And every now and then, those hood tendencies be showing up. And those are kind of things that I be trying to put to rest or whatever. But hey, that is what I meant about them hurting so much. Yeah. Again, family do what don't want to hear the truth. Nope. Tears, anger, regret, and much more. I can tell you in a peaceful place. Thus the attraction. Yeah, I'm in a very peaceful place at this time. And do I see some things that are slowly approaching me? Absolutely, I do see them. And I'm on top of them in a different way that everybody else would say. I mean, even I have some people smiling in my face and don't think that I know how they moving. Um, for real. But I see you. But what he say? He didn't say the weapons wouldn't be formed. He just said that they wouldn't be prospering. So right now I'm feeling very, very prosperous. So whatever it is that's about to come my way, bring it on. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna cry through it. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna be mad through it or whatever it may be. But one thing that I do know is I'm gonna come out on top. I always do. I always do. Imagine the things that I done been through in my life. I supposed to be I supposed to be in a bad place. I supposed to be. I don't, y'all ain't supposed to hear me speaking this way. Do have peaceful things, because when you ain't able to let some of these pressures up off of you, um, there's some your mind can be the devil's workshop. And those are facts, especially anybody who's been through some of the things that I've been through. And still, those are things that I work on to this day. Um, Keeping my mind focused. Even when people say little slick things, it's like you don't even know the comeback that come into my mind whenever whenever somebody says something to me. But I make a choice every time I see something negative. I make a choice to respond with peace instead of with violence. But coming from where I come from, that's a learning process too in itself. So, and it's not always the easiest thing to do, but what they say, practice makes perfect. So, I make sure that I'm practicing at all times, and I too want to be an example for um somebody that's going through something. And sometimes the example gonna be a up and down battle, but for the most part I want to make sure that I'm choosing the more positive side than the negative. I want the positive to outweigh the negative. Let's just say that. That is what makes me sick. They want you to take responsibility for anything they don't want to do, but they want you to be ashamed of your choices. Explain that. You can't explain it. It ain't no explain. It just don't even make no sense. Love from a distance is always safer. So yeah, especially when you deal with people like that. Um, Sometimes you do have to put space in between them, and some of them will treat you as if because I remember at one point having a real warped sense of looking at, Okay, like the auntie that I told you all, she came and bought the kids to me, and she never came back and got them. And had other family members and stuff looking for her. Um, and it's just like she was hiding out, but my uncle finally found her. Um, it's like she had this thing over the top of me that, and I told y'all before that I that people can get this sense of that. Um, I have a connection and a protection for children. So the first thing they'll do is they'll try to manipulate me with children. I get that all the time. People trying to manipulate me with children. So when I say that, it would be things like this. Like my aunt would use things to like try and control me. Like say, um, if the kids needed medical insurance or something and I'm going to apply, and you know if you're applying for assistance, you're gonna get food stamps or whatever like that, somebody going on child support, right? So she'll say certain things around certain people. You know how people do it. They say things around certain people to make sure it get back to you. So you get the message. She would say certain things in front of certain people that she knew she would get the reaction of she gonna back down because I said, if you apply for food stamps for the kids, she was telling me, well, she said it in front of some another auntie that came back and told me what she said. If I get food stamps for the kids, that she was gonna take the kids. My auntie held that over my head forever and a day, and I submitted to everything she did until finally one day she kept saying little different things that and it just became the story of your life, that everything that I say, anything I want Shauna to submit to, all I gotta do is say, I'm gonna take my kids. I'm gonna take my kids. If you don't do it. Until one day I was just like, and you know, whenever I get ready to say something to y'all, I be like wanting to say it in the attitude that I had at the time. Cause sometimes people need to know that everything don't always come up as like pretty. It's like you're offering nice, nice, nice. You're being nice to them. You submitting to everything that they saying. They getting to run you over. Well, on this at this one particular time, I had heard it so many times, and she kept saying it. And yes, there is a fear on the inside of me because when she do have the kids, she's allowing people that did traumatic things to me as a kid to have access to her kids without her supervision. So it was like, if I come and take them, then I can take them back over there so they can be around those people you don't want them to be around with. It's just so many things, connections to that one thing. But she would be holding those things over my head until one day I got to this point and I was just like, well, bitch, if you gonna do it, come do it. Take them. And it's been like, and I say that, you know, it, I said what I said. Just like I said, if you gonna do it, then come on and do it. Did I actually want her to come and take them? Absolutely not. But it came out of my mouth because I was tired. And once it fell out of my mouth by mistake, I couldn't take it back. And I had to learn to walk in that energy. And when I learned to walk in that energy, honey, and I was learning it little bit at a time, little bit at a time. And that's how I got to where I am because I went through my process. And I'm thankful that I did because it's been trying to happen to me over and over and over again. So, um, and I keep that same energy right now. Ain't nobody gonna take their kid and use them against me for nothing. And two, I have a story too that um if they don't if I've talked to you over and over again and I reach a threshold and stuff still happening with them, I don't mind calling no CPS on a family member. No, no. If I need to do it, then I have to do it. And you can choose to like me or not to like me. At this point in my life, like Y'all see me every day. I'm by myself all the time. I don't hang around a whole bunch of people. I love people, but like I don't want to be around a whole bunch of people every day. And if you choose to stay over there and I stay over here, just don't ask me no questions. You don't have to get no answers from me. Don't come and visit me. You don't have to hear none of my stories. No, none of that. At this point in my life, though, I ain't shifting to be around anybody. I just ain't got time for it. I've done it too long in my life. It's time to do something different. I think we were in the same family. We always be feeling like, you sure we related? You my long lost sister. Yeah, you'll just be amazed at how small this world. And it be like that. You can be sitting in the building and you surrounded by 500 people, and do you know 499 of those people going through the same thing you going through? We just don't know it because ain't nobody sharing it or telling that they've been through that. We all feel crazy that we've been going through it. And the reason why we don't know nothing or we don't get educated because we too busy protecting the things that we should not be protecting in our communities and stuff. The things we should be talking about, ain't nobody talking about that. But we want to talk about everything else, the latest gossip. We want to stand on the side of the road and find out why the police at everybody's house and all that stuff, know all the insides of their building, why you trying to keep your stuff a secret over here. And no, I like to actually talk about things that's gonna help us progress or get somewhere um in life. And that's just me. I don't got time for the garbage. Pure manipulation. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a big one right there. Manipulation. The manipulation of it all. Yeah, that's manipulation has played a big old part. A big part. Ooh, and it's like you keep calling it out, calling it out, and calling it out, and then then you get other people. And this is what I too have in my family. I have a lot of family members that come to me and talk to me about everything, right? And all of them, say you got this one situation going on in your family, and you the motherboard, everybody coming back to you, talking about what happened in this said situation, right? But ain't nobody talking to the person who was involved in it, no none of that. They won't tell them the truth, right? So everybody done came to me and gave me their opinion on the situation. And I'm just sitting on top of it, right? But say we come face to face and we all sitting in the room and it's about 40 of us, right? And some kind of way that situation comes up. Now the situation come up and everybody just like scrape over it a little bit and go by it, and then somebody turn around and ask me something about the situation. Okay, now you don't involve me in it, and I was just gonna sit over here and be quiet. But now you don't involve me in it, we finna really, really talk about it. If you put me in it, like we gonna go there. Now everybody wanna slide up under the seat. Not that I'm throwing anybody under the bus. I'm talking about solely what I'm talking about, but nobody don't want to be on board with what I'm saying when I'm saying it in the moment, because nobody wants to be the bad guy and talk about what really happened in true facts and say how they feel about it, but they want to talk about it behind closed doors or whatever. So I allow them to be behind closed doors, but you can't get none of them to be like, no, you're telling the truth. They starting to do it because I'm like, if you gonna be able to talk about them behind closed doors or whatever, be willing to say it. Whatever you saying to them behind the closed doors, be willing to say it to them, um, face to face. And the things that you wouldn't be able to say face to face to somebody, then maybe you should be second guessing whether I should be talking to said said person or saying whatever it is that I'm saying. If you can't repeat it to the person who you saying it about. You know, my opinion. The manipulators shame you so much that you feel you wrong. Miss Pam, you get what I've been trying. You get the whole thing that I've been saying. That's exactly what I was saying, but saying it in so many words. Is they have your mind just like that, thinking they've been telling you all of this stuff so wrong, and they've been the ones doing the wrong thing, but they've been trying to tell you, they done made you feel wrong for so long, as now you feel like you telling the truth is the wrong thing to do. And right now, I'll be making my family recognizes that. Why do you all do that? As soon as I'm trying to talk about something that really happened in the family, all of y'all seen it with y'all eyes, and because I want to talk about it, then I need to be quiet. Like I'm sick of y'all telling me to be quiet about stuff. You may not like my delivery on it or whatever, but am I telling the truth? Ask yourself, am I telling a lie? This really happened and you want me to shut up? Which is why we're still stuck in the same places that we stuck in, because nobody don't want to grow from nothing. They don't want to hear you tell them that you did nothing wrong. It be times I don't want nobody to tell me that I'm doing wrong, but I also understand too. You just don't want to hear the same person that been telling you that over and over again. I also recognize that, yeah, I know I do mess up stuff, and I can admit to it that I sure did do it, and right now I don't feel like apologizing for it. But I ain't gonna be sitting there pretending like I absolutely did nothing at all. I'm gonna tell my truth. I'm gonna tell your truth, they truth, all that stuff. I can stand in if somebody come and ask me, did I do something or did I say something or whatever. Yeah, I can stand in it. But then you got a lot of people that don't want to hear you say any of it. Instead of you telling the truth, they just rather for you to shut up. And I've also figured out that they want you to be quiet because it's making everybody in the room uncomfortable that you're talking about it. And so, would that be your problem or would that be their problem? I just think that's their problem, that they uncomfortable that I'm talking about something that I'm fully comfortable with talking about. And maybe if you're uncomfortable in that room, it might be time for you to get up, or it may be a time of a shift happening in your life that you're, because that's the only time you move though is when you get uncomfortable. Don't if you in a good old snuggly comfortable place, you don't need to move. You move because you get uncomfortable or you got to go use the bathroom or something. One of those or the other. You know, um, nobody wants to handle the issues. You right about that. They don't want to. They just want to graze over. But it's fine. Like if you talking about it, behind closed doors, or you gossiping about it or whatever. You know, that's fine as long as you keep it in those boundaries. But literally trying to work through it and get somewhere with it, child, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Nobody don't want to talk about that stuff. But I now say, don't tell me because you done told 10 others, but when it comes out, you will say, I told you, child. Pam, you must know somebody. that That's exactly how it go. You'll be the one that made, like, we had a similar situation like that. And everybody's acting like, what I got to do with it? No, you the one that got this whole thing on and popping. It's like, but it be like that sometimes. I just ain't the ones like you trying to get me out here and make me look like I'm the one that's lying or like I'm just starting something or whatever. You think you gotta I turn into Leo the Lion for real. For real then. So, but um all right, Miss Coffee, you done made it out there. Did you put one up for me? Uncomfortable equals the reason our kids are still being there you go. There you go. And that's one of those things that I've always said. I know people want there's like the whispers of like when you get with your best friends and stuff. And this like for younger people. You get with your best friend and you tell them about things that's happening in your household or whatever. And then you want your friend to like keep it a secret between you all. There's times that I've went and had conversations and talked to other younger girls about situations that I've been through, just to give them like education and stuff like that. And anytime I do those kinds of things or whatever, I always tell the girls that if your friend ever whispers one of those types of secrets to you, I can promise you on everything, it may not feel good to you to have your friend get mad at you that you went and told somebody about that secret. But that is not a good secret to hold. You holding on to that secret can actually make things be a little better for that person by telling it. It is the secret that you hold that keeps on growing and growing and getting worse and worse. That those types of situations are happening to me, and I say it. I always advise them. You know, your friend trusted you. Now you go and find you somebody else who you trust, and you whisper that secret to them and let them, as the adult, figure out how to work through that, because that's not a good secret to hold for anybody. Talk about it and let those kids know it's okay to talk about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember it was not, and listen, when you're a parent too, and you didn't get talked to in those ways. Okay, let me turn it around because we ain't talking about no chicken stuff right now. Now I'm on my rocking my two braids and everything, and I'm sitting in the shed. So here we go. We gonna talk today. um Oh my gosh. Okay, now it just want to disappear because I was getting ready to say something. Let me go back and read that again. It say talk about it and let those kids know it's okay to talk about it. Okay. If you grew up in a situation like that and you was told to be quiet about everything, or you didn't have like family meetings, family conversations, or any of that stuff. When you raise kids, it is almost like World War III to try to be the beginning of that happening in your family. So let me tell you about it. When my kids got to a certain age, there were just several things that was firing off in my head, and I wanted my kids to have the information. But I swear it felt like pulling teeth, and I felt like my kids was like an audience of a million people that I need to go and stand in front of them and have this conversation with them. It felt like the worst terror ever in my life. And the only reason it felt like that is because it wasn't something that I experienced in my life, but it was something that I wanted my kids to experience. Real conversations and everything. And most of my kids submitted to, okay, mom is having these serious conversations with us. She be pulling these meetings and all of that stuff, and she be asking these questions. I've asked my kids over and over again. Good afternoon, LNY. I think we done made it to the afternoon. I ain't sure what time it is, but good morning to you too if it's morning time. um, if you've never grew up in those situations, it can feel like the worst abdominal cramps ever when you trying to introduce that into your household with your kids. So I went into it, and most of my kids was receptive to it. You know, they sat down and listened to it. You know, you got the little giggles and all of that kind of stuff or whatever. But I was sitting them down long time, starting 6 years old and up, and we was having meetings talking about different things, talking about body parts and all of that stuff. I never had anybody to sit me down and have those types of conversations with me ever. Um, and then I had one son that had to give me the run for my money because anytime we would have conversations, we would use real words. Like we wouldn't make up names for body parts. Um, if if you had, I'm trying to figure out something that they wouldn't flag me on, but let's say we named the anatomy. I'm not gonna if in the okay, we'll take and use this one. In the anatomy, it's called a tooth. But as I'm talking to my kids, we calling it a chicklet. We ain't doing that. So let's just talk. Let's just put that into perspective. So if I'm telling you I'm talking to my son, and every time we get ready to talk about this particular part, I think he's 7 at this time. he don't want me to say the P word. He don't want me to name the part of the boy. He hate whatever I say. So every time I'm trying to have these conversations, he started crying every time I say that word. And he's like, he don't want me to say he don't want me he don't. Yeah, we ain't making up all of those different kinds of names. We're naming the actual body parts. So as long as I like make up a funny name for it or something like that, it's like he was cool with it. But he wouldn't want me to say the real word. So it's like the real word, and so it would kind of little challenges would be offered. But I'm here to tell you that those yes, his Mister. He don't want me to say anything those things. But I also know that kids need truth just like us adults do. And so, yes, it made me a little bit more uncomfortable when he would cry, and it would make me go to a place of like, I really don't want to have those conversations with him, but I wanted my kids. I needed my kids. Yeah, y'all know all them funny names that they be giving. I need my kids to know the truth. I don't ask them to sugarcoat and pretend like certain things didn't happen. I just be like, yeah, well, yep, it happened. And that's how I deal with my kids. Now, fast forward to the day that 7-year old is now. I wish I could rewind time and go back and play around with him in the way he want to play around with me. Because now this boy have conversations with me that as an adult. Boy, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to talk to you. But now, it's not so hard. But that's just, I want to say that part of it just to make other parents that's raising their kids and thinking about going to those places, go ahead and do it. It'll be uncomfortable for you, but your kids will hear you out and they'll remember it later on in life that, oh, my mama used to have all of those conversations with me. I think the worst thing that I can hear that a kid say is that, let's just say it's like you got a kid over playing from the neighbor's yard or whatever, you getting ready to go to the store, but you don't mind letting that kid ride to the store with you. It's like, go ask your mom, can you ride to the store with us, since you're over here or whatever. And that kid turns around and says, oh, my mom them don't care, that I can do anything I want to do. I don't like to hear a kid say that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I really don't. I hate to hear a kid say that because I wish one of my kids would jump up and go and get in the car. And two, the way I feel about it is because I've been through a certain situation, somewhere up in there, is a situation happened close to me like that. It's like, yes, my mom taught me is, they said, every now and then you would hear about stranger danger or whatever, but it wasn't talked about that much. One of her people that was in her group or whatever took me away one night and did some things to me. I told about that story. The name of that story is Me Exposing the Ugly Truth. If you all want to go back and look at that video, it's called Me Exposing the Ugly Truth. Is where I'm telling about this guy that was in my mom's group. He asked about going to the store one night, and I told him that I was going to ask my mom, and he said I didn't need to ask my mom. So it led up to some other things, but that story is here too. But it's like I connect those two together for whatever reason. And for the things that did happen to me while he had took me away, I got a whooping for him. So it's kind of like I connect those things together when I hear that a kid say that, oh, my mom or my dad doesn't care if I do that. No, I don't like to hear that word. And my response to those kids is every time, no, well, I care. So you got to go and you got to talk to your parents before I take you anywhere. Okay. Not at my house, you can't. You right. Now I'm calling your mama. Yes. Yeah. So I I don't really work that way, but I don't like to hear kids say that they parents don't care. When my kids kind of laugh at them and say, "You what? Your mom don't care?" Say, "No, my mama care about everything I do. She be all up in our business." Yes, I do. The only way you gonna get me out your business is when you move out of my place. You are no longer here in my place. So you all, I'm gonna get ready to tie these things away, but I'm finna show y'all what's happening with our stuff that we planted in up under the grow lights. This is my first time trying to grow something with the grow lights. I don't know what I'm doing. And we got other people that's growing on the inside because Miss Coffee has her things growing on the inside. Miss Coffee did a couple of lives yesterday where she's showing some of the things that she's going through. She's growing over there. I didn't get to look at all of her lives because my yesterday was very busy. I was busy uh today and everything. So I'm trying to catch up with everything we got going on, and plus I got projects going on inside of the house. And no, we ain't got somebody coming over to do the projects for us. We are actually doing it. We doing floors, we painting, redecorating stuff, and I just got the whole house looking like a bum went off in it. And then we got other things. I'm catering for a baby shower coming up next weekend and everything. I don't have no shortages of things that I need to do. I was an open mama. We are talking about you got to talk about it all, because guess what? If you don't talk about it, somebody gonna talk to your kids about it. They sure will. I'm glad you love our chats, LMY. Go ahead and add to it. I'd be willing to have the conversation, but I don't want to force down anybody, like what I'm going through. But like, if I see it in the chat or whatever, and I think I have something to say on it, I'm gonna absolutely speak on it. I want to talk to my people in the chats, but I'm going to show you all what's happening up under the grow lights. This is our first time growing with grow lights, but y'all know they got us good out in the garden because we had to pull up all our squash and zucchini from out there and plant carrots in their place. But now we trying something new out here in the shed to see what we got going on. There's one more look at our baby chickens for the day. Unless we get something else going on, they're gonna be good. And at this point I won't put a heat lamp on them because it's like 72, 73, and it's kind of warm out here in the shed. And I don't think that they need the heat lamp yet, but I will assess that throughout the day. And if they need a heat lamp, they will have a heat lamp on them. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep them out here tonight or take them on the inside or whatever. But the kids will be playing with Lil Shay, and I don't know what the other one name gonna be yet. But right now we got Lil Shay and little bit over here somewhere. But we'll be checking on them as they get up and growing and becoming more acquainted with the family. But here you all is what we got going on under our grow light. First time growing under the grow lights, and I have to switch them around because originally we were supposed to have one shelf with stuff on it, and we ended up with two shelves. You say she's a little white. You can name her Pam. All right, we got little Shay, and we got Miss Pam, and we got Shay. So here we go. We got two. We got our two chickens. We got us a Pam and a Shay. All right, dear. There we have it. We got names. So, but y'all see, everything is working up under the grow light. Let's see what hold on just one second. Let me close this food up, and so we can see what the potato, what the top is looking like. Hmm. Okay, this is what our potato is looking like in here. So it's doing good. It came back to life. That's our potato that Miss Coffee say she wanted to grow together with us. So we got that potato from outside and bought it on the inside. This what our cucumbers looking like already. They up and out. They should have like two more should come out in that one, and that's just our extra soil being. But our squash and zucchinis are almost all up. We need one, two. Those are poking up already. They just haven't come above the soil yet. That little hump there, but they'll get watered today. But y'all, we growing. We are growing. So a little bit is a bully. Just chasing Shay all over the place. This about to be real funny. And just remember, Shay is the big one, and then Pam is number two. Can't wait to see how the squash do. Yeah, I can't. I hope they all work out really well because, I've this may solve my problems, my issues of, I told y'all every year I have an issue with my squash and stuff. I usually get like 6 squash off of each plant or zucchini, and this year I didn't even get. I got one squash, point blank, period, off of all of them before we had to pull them up. And so that was very disappointing. I didn't even get what I've been getting out of them. So maybe this will be the way that we gonna be able to solve our problem by growing them on the inside. So that's what we gonna do as long as we growing. So y'all see we got the garden on the inside and on the outside. So tomorrow, I think we're gonna be back out in the garden. Not that I ain't gonna be out there today because I'm headed to the big garden later on today. But this live has already been almost 2 hours long, and it'd be kind of hard to get people to come back and look at a 2 hour live. But if you know somebody who going or growing through these situations or whatever, yeah, I know. Just take the live and send it and share it out to somebody. But I would greatly appreciate if you all hit the like button, the dislike button, subscribe. Whatever it is, hit one of those buttons. It help till up the soil over here. It helps us to grow over here. But over here, I thank you all for coming over and joining Life with Tashana on today, where they call me Shana sometimes, but this is the home of the high class gardeners. And that just means we make sure we growing something, mostly food at all times of the year, medicinal things. We getting into that sooner than later. But we make sure we're growing at all times. The high class part just means that we don't play around with no snakes, no bugs and worms, and that's in real life. If you got people that's around that are like that, we don't mess with those people at all. And we about growing over here. Whatever we growing in the garden, we try to apply it to our real life and watch ourselves grow in that way. So if you interested in growing, come over here and join us, where we always believe in growing every day, all day. Every day, all day. Um, Again, thank you for your time. I know it is precious. I appreciate you all too. You all for your time and your patience over here. Well, we about the peace over here. And we don't got no more baby chicks coming out yet. But before this is all over with, we gonna see us a baby chick hatching. We definitely gonna see that. If I see one of them, if I come out here throughout the day or whatever, and I see any one of them about to hatch or whatever, I'm definitely gonna hit the live because I want y'all to have that experience too. Running down the street with the lima bean plant again. But all right, y'all. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna name this live. I need to start naming my lives, but I'm gonna name them after we go live because we be all over the place over here. We be talking about everything. Some of everything. But you all, I thank y'all for growing with us today. Cause we've definitely grown. Y'all have an amazing day. And if I have anything else, I'll see y'all a little bit later on today. But y'all continue to have an amazing Sunday. See y'all later.